Well, hello everyone. I'm Tamara, and this is my channel, Tams PsychAdvice. And I talk about Myers-Briggs, personality disorders, anything psychologically related. But today I'm going to talk about the ISTP, which is one of the Myers-Briggs personality types. So when you look at the preferences, the person is introverted. That's what the I stands for. The S is for sensor. That means that they are very much in the present, they're in the moment. They can be very sequence-like in their thought process. They are thinkers, so they're going to be objective about things. Sometimes they can be very straightforward and blunt, so they don't mean to hurt feelings, but they can occasionally. And then P means that they are perceivers. Perceivers are go with the flow. They like spontaneity. They can sort of get adrenaline rushes and jump right in there. They don't like to be confined by too many strict guidelines and structure and schedule, blah, blah, blah. But that's not always totally the case. They're also SPs. And SP is a temperament that was created by David Keirsey, to me, one of the MBTI greats. And that temperament can be very go with the flow, very action oriented. They like a challenge, or they can be really into sports. This type can be. ISTPs can also be very good at fixing things. They just have a great preference for it. So when you think SP, you might think ha ha ha, jokey, laughy, playful, that they don't take anything in life seriously. But ironically, an ISTP can be very stable, steady, rock solid in their approach to life. They can really tap into an area of huge stability and reliability and trustworthiness and morals and ethics. And, I think some people have called this type a jock type, which you can agree or disagree to that. I think there are differences in type depending on, you might want to check out my birth order video. My dad is an ISTP, but he's a middle child. And by middle, and I talk about that in the birth order video, that middle children, it's just, he's not a first, second, and third. He's actually in the middle of several siblings. So he's unusually calm. I think maybe other ISTPs may not be as calm as he is, but they're still go with the flow, usually easygoing to some degree. Doesn't mean that they can't have a temper, or some of them can go into action and take charge, and depending on what their profession is, like if they're a police officer or something like that. But I was just watching a video earlier today on someone who claims to be an introvert. I think there's a possibility that he's an ISTP, but he was talking about how he chooses to live his life as a husband, as a father, and that he made some decisions once he took that role in his life. He totally did an about face, because I think he did things in his life that were troublesome, that maybe even were against the law when he was younger. But when they tap into this area, they can be amazing fathers, amazing husbands, and just good people. They can be great in the church. So he talked about all of the decisions that he made, and he went down the line one at a time. And one of the things was, he said, I don't curse. And he said, and nothing against people who curse, but he said, I don't curse. I chose not to curse because cursing can kind of go into sort of fight mode. It can easily trigger you into being aggressive. And he didn't want to be aggressive towards his wife if they ever had a disagreement or an argument. That wasn't a lane that he wanted to travel in. So he really avoided that. So cursing, no. And he also said he didn't want his children to emulate that type of behavior at all. So, he said he observed other children cursing, and he observed his own child when his child was playing a sport not cursing. So he was saying, kids live as you live, not what you say, but what you actually do. And I think there's a lot of truth to that. I think sometimes people make mistakes in their younger years in life, and I actually think that it's kind of a mistake, and this is just kind of an aside, to point out to your children all the things that you did wrong. Because I've seen kids repeat that exact thing, that you're in full disclosure that I did this, I smoked weed, I would never admit that. Like, I don't know. I can see the pros and the cons to it, but I've seen too many kids repeat behaviors that their parents repeat. But if you live a certain lifestyle, that's what they live. So you can have strict boundaries with your kids, but if you party all the time, they're gonna party like crazy as soon as they can. So you have to keep that in mind, and I think ISTPs, when they tap into that lane, they can be fantastic at living the life that they want you to emulate. I know with my dad, people always say that me and my siblings, and we're not perfect, but they always say, oh my gosh, you raised such good, kids, and they were always so well behaved, and they got their lives together, and they're very, living a straightforward life and all of this stuff. And people always thought my dad must have been really strict, and he wasn't. And I mean, he was, because he did have a set of standards that he lived by. It was more so him modeling it. That's all. And he also has always been very nice to me, very respectful, open doors, all of that. So I always felt like, how can I disrespect or or break all these rules with somebody who's always so nice to me and who's also upstanding? He doesn't curse, he doesn't do any of that stuff. So he's very into church, and so that was he just modeled it. And I think ISTPs can be fantastic with that. Another thing that guy said his video I watched earlier today, he said he decided he wasn't going to drink. And he said that doesn't mean that he's not the occasional drinker at a party, like drink one drink, but he doesn't drink to get drunk or drink excessively, or even on a daily or monthly basis, even just every blue moon. And this guy is a cool guy. Like, he's got swag, he's very cool, but he said he made the decision that he didn't want his state of mind to be altered in any way, because he wanted to live a life of clear thinking and clarity. Same thing with not using drugs and abusing drugs. He also said he likes to live a healthy lifestyle with exercising and eating right. And he talked about that he was going to eat a piece of cake today, but not a whole cake, and not cake every day. That he tries to treat his body like a temple, a vessel created by God, and to live as purely as possible, like with even his daily eating style. Like, he tries to be self-conscious and aware of what he puts into his body and eating things in moderation. So I think being that way, like living a lifestyle of purity, and also having a lot of, he has personality. So it's not that, but I think it's incredibly difficult to tap into a lane of self-discipline and making it a part of who you are, exercising it every day, But it seems like ISTPs can be very, very matter of fact and accepting of that lifestyle, so that it's not such a fight like it would be for other people. It's just, it is what it is, and this is how I'm living my life, and this is what I'm doing. He also makes good choices about the type of husband that he wants to be. He does not cheat on his wife. That's one of the things that he decided. Now, I think when he first got married, he tried it, and his wife left him, and that was a wake-up call for him, and he, for many, many years, has never ever done that again. But he decided to make the choice to live his life in a way that was respectful to his wife. He said if he loved his wife, what kind of a role model is that for his children? How will that change the trajectory of their lives and how they view themselves and how they view marriage and how they view family? And it also has created well-adjusted children who are becoming very, very successful because they don't have all the chaos and craziness. So I think I'm really proud of this guy, and I think more people could learn from him and other ISTPs that tap into that lane. Now, do I know ISTPs that cheat and that do crazy things? Of course. I mean, there is no perfect type. There are people in every type that do all kinds of things. That doesn't determine the decisions you make in your life. But what I'm saying is, it seems like ISTPs have an incredible ability for self-discipline and, great church leaders and followers of God when they tap into it. It's effortless. That self-discipline is amazing and so admirable. So we can learn a lot from ISTPs. If you want to know more about them, check out my video under the 16 MBTI types. Also, if you like one of my friendship pins, I know we may never meet, but it's a way for us to connect and for you to also connect to your type if you're an ISTP, or if you have a loved one that's an ISTP, or you're some other MBTI type. You can check them out at the link below. Please like my video, share this with other ISTPs that you know, or people that you want to understand you better. So be sure to subscribe, and if you want to see more videos on ISTPs, then like the video, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.